Hi there! Today we're going to talk about the definition of the SMART guidelines for setting goals and objectives. We will explain what it is in detail and go through some examples to make sure you're ready to apply that to your business. SMART is an acronym and it represents a framework for creating effective goals. It stands for 5 qualities your goals and objectives must have, and these are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Now let's go through these one by one, and the first one is specific. Now specific means that your goals should be clear and well-defined. That's because vague or generalized goals are unhelpful because they don't provide sufficient direction. To make goals specific, you should answer the 4 W's, which are what, why, who, and where. What you want to achieve, why you want to achieve that, who's responsible for taking the steps, and where that should take place. The second quality in the SMART guidelines is measurable, and that means that a goal must have criteria for tracking progress. So without having that criteria, you will not be able to determine your progress and whether or not you're on the right track to reach your goal. For example, if one of your goals is to read more, you won't know when you have achieved it. An example of a measurable goal in that case would be read 1 book per month or read 2 pages per day. This is more clear and it's something that you can measure. To make a goal measurable, you should ask questions such as how much, how many, and how will you know when your goal is accomplished. The third quality in the SMART guidelines is achievable, and that means that goals and objectives should be attainable to be successful. In other words, your goals should stretch your abilities, but they should still remain possible. If you set a goal that's beyond what you can do, you might not engage with it fully, or it could be demoralizing. And so you should ask yourself questions like, do you have the resources and capabilities to achieve the goal? And if not, what are you missing? Maybe you should also consider, have others done this successfully before? And what can you learn from their experience? And so, for instance, if you're currently not reading at all, it's far too ambitious to set a goal to read 100 books this year, and it's highly unlikely that you're going to be able to do that. That becomes disappointing, and midway, you will find that you may abandon your goal entirely. However, if you aim to read 1 book per month, then it becomes attainable and encouraging. The fourth quality is relevant, and relevant means that your goals should be related to the direction you want your life, your career, or your business to take. By keeping goals aligned with this, you'll develop the focus you need to get ahead and do what you want. So think of it this way: how does this goal serve your vision for your business or for yourself? Is it really what you want to achieve? Is it really a priority at this point in time? Or are you just following a trend? Now, whether you're setting a goal for a business or for yourself, you should be able to validate that goal. The fifth quality in the SMART guidelines is time-bound. And time-bound means that your goals must have a deadline. This adds a sense of urgency to your goal and gets things done. It's very hard to measure the success of a goal without a time limit. It also gives the achievement a context. For example, if you increase the company's profit by 10% over a year, then your growth rate is high, and that's great. But if you increase the company's profit by 10% across a decade, then your growth rate is poor. And so without a time limit, achievements lack meaning. By ensuring your goals are SMART, you increase your chances of making your goals a reality, and that's because you've outlined exactly what you need to do to achieve them. And so it's not enough to just have a goal. The process of reaching that goal requires a detailed plan that the SMART framework can provide. Now let's apply the SMART framework to setting goals and objectives in a digital marketing context. And if you want to know more about the difference between goals and objectives before you go further in this video, we have another video that explains the difference between the two, and we will link to that in the description. So an example of a digital marketing goal would be to increase website traffic by 30% over the next quarter, and that's to improve lead generation and boost online sales. Now let's break this goal down. This goal is specific because we have clearly defined what we want to achieve and why. We want to increase website website traffic to improve lead generation and boost online sales. This goal is also measurable because we've set a specific percentage, which is 30%. That's the increase in traffic we want to see. This goal is also achievable because assuming that we have the baseline data, industry standards, and available resources, a 30% increase in traffic is a realistic target. This goal is relevant because it's directly related to our broader business objectives of generating more leads and increasing sales. And finally, this goal is time-bound because we have specified a timeline of 1 quarter to achieve this goal. Now let's take some examples of objectives we can set to achieve this goal, and we're still following the SMART framework. Now objective 1 could be something like we should increase monthly blog posts from 4 to 8 to drive more organic traffic over the next 3 months. Now this objective is specific because we're doubling our current blog post production from 4 to 8 posts per month. This objective is also measurable because we've identified the number of blog posts published per month, and this can easily be tracked. This objective is achievable because depending on our resources and number of people working on creating content, doubling our blog posts should be feasible. And this objective is also relevant because more blog content can improve SEO, and that leads to increased organic website traffic, which is the main goal we want to achieve. And finally, this objective is time-bound because we've given ourselves a timeline of 3 months to achieve this objective. Objective number 2 could be something like implement a monthly PPC campaign on Google Ads with a budget of £1,000, targeting our top 3 selling products for the next 3 months. Now, if we break this objective down, we will find that the 5 qualities apply to it. First of all, it's specific because we are running a monthly PPC campaign targeting our top 3 selling products. So we've identified the channel we're going to use and the products we're going to focus on. This objective is also measurable because we can measure the effectiveness of the campaign through click-through rates, conversion rates, and return on investment. This objective is achievable because with a defined budget and products, running a PPC campaign is achievable. And also, PPC campaigns can directly increase website traffic and sales, so it only makes sense that it's relevant to the goal that we want to achieve. And finally, this objective is time-bound because we have set a timeline of 3 months to achieve this. These objectives are all steps that will help us reach our goal of increasing website traffic by 30% over the next quarter. So we hope that you now understand the SMART guidelines fully and you're ready to apply them to your business. But if you have any more questions about the SMART guidelines, we're happy to help you. Just drop us a comment and we'll get back to you.